Welcome to the Oberoi Concours 2026. Nice to have everyone here. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. It's a Concours d'Elegance. That means we are celebrating beauty of the car. But before we judge the beauty, we judge the mechanicals and the conditions. So if you look around, all the cars are more or less in top shape, and some of them are better than when they were new. On this field, we have American cars. To my right, there are post-war American cars, cars made out after 45. And this side are pre-war American cars. So we've got the earliest car on show here, a 1905 Oldsmobile. If you come around and have a look at the blue car, you'll notice a lot of difference to conventional cars. It's got chain drive like your bicycles. So the engine actually turns the chain and the chain turns the rear wheels. After that is the famous Ford T model that everyone hopefully knows. If you don't, it's the car which started sort of the production line system in industries. And it's black because it was cheapest to paint it black, not because there were less paint colors available. It was cheapest to paint it black in a factory setting. And at the back there's a Buick, which is a single family-owned car. It was bought new by the Banaras royal family, and it's still with them. That's a theme that you'll see a lot here. A lot of the cars here are single family-owned for generations. It's something we are quite proud of. People haven't sold off their cars; they kept it. Grandfather, father, son, and hopefully the next generation. This side we have the post-war cars. That Chrysler, the grey sort of beige car at the back, that has also been owned by the family since new. The person who bought the car originally kept it for one day because the wives couldn't fit at the back. It's a two-door car. It's very difficult to get into the back. You have to drop the seat. So he sold the car the very next day and bought himself a sedan. And the family who bought the car have kept it since. So that's great. I mean, they've had a literal brand new car, just one day old. And there we have a convertible Mustang because everybody loves a Mustang. And Indians particularly love Mustangs, even though they weren't sold in India. We have quite a few here. A lot of these cars were used, and then, you know, as things get old, you sell it off, somebody else uses it, and it just gets destroyed. And it's so nice to have so many cars which have survived, and there's so many cars which almost didn't survive, and a lot of our collectors have bought them and given them a new life. So that's one of the things in India that you see is we have really resurrected cars, and I will show you a car on another field which was literally resurrected from dust. Now on our front field, we have a number of classes here. So let me first explain. Before, in 1920s, 30s, cars were sold as chassis from the factory, especially luxury cars, and then you would send it to a coach builder to make the bodies. You could specify what you want, a limousine, a convertible, a roadster, whatever. So in India, we had coach builders. So a lot of chassis came to India for the Indian customers, and the bodies were built in India. We have a special class showing those great cars which are made in India, because every time we talk about Rolls-Royces and things, we talk about them being made in the UK or even in France. We had them made in India as well. So we have a few cars parked in front of the gate which have been built in India in period in the 1920s and 30s. And below us are a few cars which are built now in India in the same style as they would be in the 20s and 30s. It's a way to just show that we still have the skill to do these kind of things. They're all hand-built. The wooden body is hand-built, the metal body is all hand-built. There's no sort of laser, computers used. A man is literally sat with a hammer and beaten a piece of metal into those curves. So that skill still exists in India, and we are very proud to show that we can still do this kind of work. We have a gentleman at the back hiding there. He's, yes, you, Srivardhan, his workshop does a lot of this good work. In fact, this wooden car in front here, just next to this bush, has been built in his garage, and there was nothing. It was just a chassis. Am I right? And the back entire wooden frame and everything's been built by his chaps and his hard work. To the extreme end of the field, we have British sports cars. These are post-war British sports cars. After the war, sports car industry in the UK was thriving, and those cars are quite famous. You know, the E-Type Jaguars, the XKs, and all sorts. So we have a special class just celebrating them. They're quite popular in India, and since 2 years ago, we are now allowed to import them, so we're getting more of them. But the great thing is, most of these cars are actual Indian cars. They have Indian history. They were bought new and imported in those days. The red E-Type there, that car is single family owned. So the Dharampur royal family bought that car and is still with the grandson. So as I said, these great stories are all over the place. Right in front, you will see some cars with stickers and even these 3 or 4 cars with racing numbers. This is celebrating our racing heritage. Unlike Europe and America, we had very grassroots racing. People just raced whatever they had. So this is just showing that. We have a very sporty car, the Jaguar XK. But to the extreme right, we have a 4-door sedan, which was also raced. It has a good engine. So the owner just went off on Saturday and raced it, and on Monday went to work in it. On the left, I don't know if the people here could see it or not, there's a car with a Texan sticker on it. That's a Ford Lotus Cortina Mark II. That is the only car to have raced the London-Sydney Rally twice. It was owned by a doctor, Dr. Wadia, and he took the car twice to the race in 68 and 77. Nobody else attempted to do the rally in the same car. They bought newer cars, he just went in the same car. The rally was, I think, almost 2 months long. There was the break, and then the cars were shipped by sea between certain ports. Next to that is something called a Kumari, a Q apostrophe Mari. So it's an Indian racing special. It's been built up with parts from various cars to just go racing in the lightest possible car possible, with whatever parts were available. So it's got, Hindustan parts, which is the company which made the Ambassador, Fiat parts. It's just a collection of parts so that the man could go racing because he couldn't get a racing car. And to the extreme right, what looks like a 1100 Fiat is a highly modified. That car can actually keep up with Formula cars. It's got a very high revving race engine built in England for it. And that was raced by Dr. Vijay Mallya in his youth. I think we'll go down now and I'll show you the cars which are closer to the pond. I just want to stop at this car. It's not competing, but I think we should highlight it. When this car was made, the war had essentially started and they stopped making convertibles. So this car has been made in Australia, where the roof was cut off, and it's a limousine convertible. So it's a long wheelbase car without a roof. It was coach built in Australia, and it was used for ceremonial purposes. So if you look inside, this brocade interior, and there is also windows that can just slip on and a top that will cup on. So if required, it will be weather sealed. But if you could have a closer look at the seats, it's extremely opulent. It was built specifically for state occasions for the Palitana family. To my left is post-war European class. These are cars made in Europe after the war, minus British sports cars because we did a special class for them. Very varied class. There's a Alfa Romeo 8C behind us in light blue. There's a little Fiat there, which is an estate, 1100 Familiar. And we have 4 Mark 6 Bentleys parked right here. And out of them, 2 were from the Maharaja of Darbanga's garage. The silver one and the grey one next to it. The blue one is from Maharaja Mysore's collection, was from the Maharaja Mysore collection. He bought 6 of them in one go. But all 6 were the same model, but the bodies were all different and the colors were all different. That was called doing a Mysore, when you bought things in 6s. And in the middle we have a little Alfa Romeo sports car, as you may. It's quite a popular car now in India. There's a lot of people wanting to collect these, so that's sort of something that's coming up. And if you see right at the back, there's a red Mercedes. That's a 300 SE, and there were only 54 of those made. And to right in front of that, where I don't know if you can see the car, there's a black Mercedes that was bought brand new by the Indian government for the Indonesian High Commission. And then once the High Commissioner came back, the car was brought into India. It was used by the sort of the presidential fleet. So dignitaries were taken around in it before it was no longer required and sold off. But it is still in very, very good original condition. It still retains most, it's not been restored. It's something it's almost what we call a preservation class car. So if you see on our extreme right, there are some newer sports cars parked there. The aim is to include newer cars in the shows. What we keep forgetting are these cars are also now quote unquote old. They are 30 years old almost, and they should now be considered classics. So now we are trying to promote them, get people who collect them to take them out a bit more, show them, restore them, and generally reduce the age of people who collect cars, because as enthusiasts we want all the cars to be saved, and newer cars are usually looked upon as appliances. They'll use them, sell them off, goes to some garage, never leaves the garage, and that's the end of the car. So trying to promote people to get those cars out of the garage and show them, because they're beautiful cars and they need to be seen. We are currently in the BMW lounge. Behind us is a little Isetta, a little bubble car, what they called. The door opens in front and it's just 2 people inside, sliding windows. This is a 3.0 CSL, nicknamed the Batmobile because it looked like the Batmobile. Extremely successful racing car. One of the earliest attempts by BMW to go racing in the post-war era. This is also from the factory museum. Unfortunately, we can't start it because they refuse to let us blow everyone's eardrums. But a very significant car for us motorsport enthusiasts. To my left are Rolls-Royce Phantoms. The first Phantom was made in 1925. They celebrated 100 years last year. Mr. Poonawalla has kindly given his full collection of Phantoms. He's missing one because there were only 12 or 15 of those made, and only the heads of states bought them, and they are still with those heads of states. So he's missing one car, but he's hopefully can finish his collection soon. So we have a Phantom 1, Phantom 2, Phantom 3, Phantom 5, 6, 7, and the newest Phantom 8. This is a 2025 Phantom 8. So full 100 years of Rolls-Royce Phantoms from the beginning to the end. On the right hand side are our competing cars. They are all Rolls-Royces built in the pre-war era, so anything built before 1945. There are all sorts of Rolls-Royces because Rolls-Royces generally made 2 types of cars. One of the bigger cars, which they call the Phantoms, with a bigger engine. And then there were smaller cars which started with a 20 horsepower, that got upgraded to a 20-25 horsepower, and then that got upgraded to a 25-30 horsepower. So those are 6-cylinder engines. So we have a whole bunch of the Rolls-Royces here. India had approximately a quarter of all Rolls-Royces built before the war. Has a huge fan following. Just pointing out one Rolls-Royce, unfortunately these people are on the way, but there's a blue Rolls-Royce on the left, the Phantom 1 from the Poonawalla collection. That is chassis number 17EX, EX meaning experimental. It was a car used by Rolls-Royce to sort of upgrade their cars, and they made a very sporting body on it. And the Maharaja of Kashmir saw the car and bought it because he found it extremely flashy, and it had all the upgrades on it already. So he got the great sort of good package in one go. I'm not going to make you walk all the way to the end, but I do urge you all to see all the Rolls Royces carefully because they are phenomenally built cars and they all have their own stories. There's some sports models, there are some more formal models. Rolls Royces weren't all formal all the time. There's one hunting car in the middle. It's got a very boat style body and two fake guns here, but in reality they were real guns. The car was used by the Maharaja of Bikaner to shoot sand grouse. So appropriately there are bird hunting shotguns on the side and not rifles that are put many times to show hunting cars to sort of badly misrepresent what Maharajas bought cars for. Generally, we see a lot of stories about Rolls Royces being used for hunting. Any Maharaja car becomes a hunting car. That is not the case. Very few Maharaja cars were specifically built for hunting. A lot were built for processions and for. There was one even sort of modified for use to carry the goddess because you didn't want leather in the car, so there was cloth interior.
In Calcutta, there is this silver
Yes.
horse, which was modified into a temple by the Bagla family in the 30s, and it was first owned by Rudyard Kipling, who was one of the famous poets back in the days. And that car till date, every year during the Holi, which is a very auspicious festival for in India, it gets out in the procession with the Satnarayan Bhagwan, and every year it's been doing it since the 30s till date. And people say that this car is actually run by God.
So we are on the jetty lawns, and on the left and the right hand side we have the pre-war European cars. If you remember earlier, I was saying cars were built on order. You know, bodies were decided by what you wanted. Very good example of the cars here. The 5 cars at the back, that maroon and sort of beige car till the red Bugatti, are from the Maharaja of Jodhpur's garages. Some of them are not owned by the family, but they were all Jodhpur cars. So we are celebrating the Maharaja of Jodhpur's garages in this edition. We had done Mysore last time, and those cars represent the Jodhpur sort of royal family. The 3 cars in the middle were all bought in 1935. You can see how flamboyant all the cars are. We have a convertible in the middle. We have coupes on either side and extremely sort of aeroplane inspired coupes. They're called aero coupes. Actually, that's the name given to the body style. Both 2-door cars. So the Maharaja had a very, very sporting sort of demeanor. Even the Bugatti is quite sporty. It's got a little boat tail body at the back. And these are the post-war cars. We have a Mercedes, we have an Adler, another Mercedes, an SS owned by this gentleman, a Lagonda, and the black part on top of the Lagonda is made in a system called Wayman. It was Wayman. Wayman was a company which started the system. They use a Rexine-like material to cover wooden frame. It makes the body lighter instead of using metal. So if you go closer to the car, you'll notice the top is got a very matte finish. That's because it's made out of a Rexine-like material. Right, we have some very rare cars, a standard Avon, Alvis, and a Bentley. This Bentley was originally ordered by the Nawab of Bhopal, and he gifted this car to the Jaipur family when Maharani Gayatri Devi got married. They had gone for their honeymoon to Bhopal, and she liked the car, and as it was in those days, she got the car the next day. Apparently, the Maharaja wasn't too happy about that gift, so he bought her another car. Oh, very good. To make sure he That concludes the tour. Thank you so much for joining me on this curated walk through the concourse. I hope you enjoyed all the cars. We hope to have you here next time as a participant and not just a spectator.